Have you ever felt like the world keeps throwing pain your way? Like no matter how hard you try, something or someone always finds a way to hurt you? What if I told you that the key to never being hurt again lies not in controlling the world around you, but in transforming the world within you? Today, we're diving into the wisdom of Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist who believed that true strength comes from mastering your own mind and soul. Let's explore how Jung's teachings can help you build an unshakable inner fortress so nothing and nobody can ever hurt you again. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and the founder of analytical psychology. He believed that to live a fulfilling life, we must confront our inner selves, our fears, our shadows, and our untapped potential. Jung's ideas aren't just theories, they're a roadmap to becoming whole, resilient, and free from the power others hold over us. So how do we use his wisdom to protect ourselves from pain? Let's break it down. Jung taught us that much of our pain comes from our unconscious mind. When someone hurts you, whether it's a harsh word, a betrayal, or rejection, it stings because it triggers something deeper, unhealed wounds, insecurities, or fears we've buried. Jung called these triggers the shadow, the parts of ourselves we don't want to face. If you ignore your shadow, it controls you. Every criticism feels like a dagger because it's hitting a wound you haven't healed. The first step to never being hurt again: face your shadow. Jung's core teaching is individuation, the process of integrating all parts of yourself, including the shadow, into a complete, authentic whole. When you become whole, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop letting their words or actions define your worth. Imagine this: someone insults you, but instead of feeling crushed, you feel calm, grounded, because you know who you are. That's the power of individuation. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming you, fully, unapologetically, and unshakably. Jung was fascinated by alchemy, not as a literal science, but as a metaphor for transforming pain into strength. Every hurt you've experienced is raw material for growth. When someone wrongs you, don't let it fester, use it. Ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe it's showing you where you need boundaries or where you've given away your power. By doing this inner work, you turn wounds into wisdom. The next time someone tries to hurt you, their words will bounce off because you've alchemized your pain into an impenetrable shield. Here's the secret Jung knew: when you stop tying your worth to what others think, their ability to hurt you disappears. Jung said, "The greatest harm comes from the silent majority that submits. Don't submit to others' judgments. Don't let their opinions define you. You are enough, not because of what you achieve or how others see you, but because of who you are at your core. Build that inner certainty, and no one's words or actions can shake you." If you've never heard of Carl Jung, let me paint you a picture. Picture a brilliant Swiss psychiatrist in the early 20th century, sitting in his study by Lake Zurich, scribbling ideas that would redefine how we understand ourselves. Jung wasn't just a doctor, he was a visionary, a philosopher, a mystic who dared to ask the big questions. Why do we suffer? What makes us human, and how do we become whole? Born in 1875, Jung started as a protégé of Sigmund Freud, but he broke away to forge his own path, one that went deeper, darker, and more transformative than anything psychology had seen before. Jung founded analytical psychology, a framework that says your mind isn't just a machine, it's a universe. It's got light and shadow, heroes and monsters, and a hidden potential waiting to be unleashed. Unlike Freud, who focused on repressed desires, Jung believed that to live a meaningful life, you have to face the parts of yourself you've ignored, embrace them, and become whole. He called this process individuation, and it's the key to everything we're talking about today. Jung didn't believe in quick fixes. He wasn't about slapping a band-aid on your pain or telling you to just think positive. He believed in doing the work, diving into the messy, beautiful, complicated depths of your psyche to find the treasure within. And that treasure, it's the power to never let anyone or anything hurt you again. Let's see how. Let's get real for a second. Why does it hurt so much when someone criticizes you, betrays you, or walks away? Why does a single comment on social media or a snide remark from a co-worker have the power to ruin your day? Jung had an answer, and it's not what you might think. The pain you feel isn't just about what they did, it's about what's already inside you. Jung taught that our minds have two layers, the conscious, which is what you're aware of, and the unconscious, which is like a vast, hidden ocean full of memories, fears, and beliefs you don't even know you're carrying. When someone hurts you, they're not creating the pain from scratch. They're poking at a wound that was already there, buried in your unconscious. Maybe it's a childhood memory of being told you weren't good enough. Maybe it's a fear of abandonment or a belief that you don't deserve love. These are the raw nerves that make you flinch when life presses on them. Jung took this idea further with his concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of you that you've pushed away, the insecurities, the anger, the shame, the traits you don't want to admit you have. We all have a shadow, and here's the catch. If you ignore it, it controls you. That's why a single rejection can feel like the end of the world. It's not just about the rejection, it's your shadow whispering, "See, you're not worthy. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I got a harsh critique on a project I poured my heart into. It wasn't just feedback, it felt like a personal attack. I was crushed for days. Then I stumbled across Jung's idea of the shadow, and I started asking myself, why did this hit me so hard? What was this triggering? I realized that deep down, I was terrified of not being enough. A fear I'd carried since I was a kid. That critique wasn't just about my work, it was poking at my shadow. Once I saw that, I could start working on it, and the next time criticism came, it didn't sting nearly as much. Here's the good news, you can do this too. Jung believed that by facing your shadow, by bringing those hidden fears and wounds into the light, you take away their power. You stop reacting to every slight like it's a life or death blow. You start to see other people's actions for what they are, reflections of their struggles, not your worth. So, how do you go from being hurt by every slight to standing tall no matter what life throws at you? Jung's answer is one word: individuation. Don't let the fancy terms scare you. It's just the process of becoming your true, whole self. Not the version of you that's trying to please everyone else. Not the version that's hiding behind a mask to avoid pain. The real you, the one who's strong, authentic, and untouchable. Jung believed that we're all born with a unique spark, a blueprint for who we're meant to become. But life, society, family, expectations, covers that spark with layers of fear, doubt, and conformity. Individuation is about peeling back those layers, facing your shadow, and embracing every part of yourself, even the messy bits. It's about saying, this is who I am, and I'm enough. Here's why individuation is your ticket to never being hurt again. When you know who you are, when you're grounded in your own worth, other people's opinions lose their grip on you. Imagine someone throwing an insult your way, And instead of crumbling, you just shrug and think, that's their issue, not mine. That's the power of individuation. It's not about being cold or detached, it's about being so rooted in yourself that external noise can't shake you. Let's break down how to start this journey. Jung didn't leave us with vague platitudes, he gave us practical steps. First, you've got to know yourself. That means getting curious about your thoughts, your patterns, your dreams. Jung was obsessed with dreams, by the way. He saw them as messages from your unconscious, guiding you toward wholeness. Start paying attention to your dreams. Write them down. Ask, what's my mind trying to tell me? Second, you need to face your contradictions. We all have them. Maybe you're kind, but also jealous sometimes. Maybe you're ambitious, but secretly terrified of failure. Jung said these contradictions aren't flaws, they're part of what makes you human. The goal isn't to get rid of them, it's to accept them and find balance. Third, and this is the big one, you've got to stop seeking validation from others. This is where most of us get tripped up. We tie our worth to likes, compliments, approval, and when those things disappear, we feel worthless. Jung said, the greatest harm comes from the silent majority that submits. Don't submit to the world's judgment. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's a fact, written in the core of your being. Let me share a quick example. I used to obsess over what people thought of me. Every post I made, every decision I took, I'd wonder, will they like me? Will they approve? It was exhausting, and it made every criticism feel like a personal failure. Then I started practicing Jung's ideas. I journaled about my fears. I faced my shadow. I asked myself, who am I when no one's watching? Slowly, I stopped caring so much about others' opinions. And you know what? The less I needed their validation, the less their words could hurt me. Individuation isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a lifelong journey. But every step you take makes you stronger, more resilient, more you. And the more you become yourself, the less power anyone else has to knock you down. If there's one thing Jung loved, it was the idea of alchemy, not the old-school turn lead into gold kind, but a spiritual alchemy that transforms your inner world. Jung saw life's pain, every hurt, every betrayal, every failure, as raw material. Just like an alchemist takes rough, messy substances and refines them into something precious, you can take your pain and turn it into strength, wisdom, and power. Think about the last time someone hurt you. Maybe a friend let you down, or a partner said something that cut deep. Your first instinct might be to push that pain away, to distract yourself, to pretend it didn't happen. But Jung would say, stop. Don't run from it. Work with it. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. Every hurt is a chance to learn something about yourself, to grow stronger, to build a version of you that's untouchable. Here's how to practice inner alchemy. Step 1. Feel the pain. Don't numb it with Netflix or scroll past it on your phone. Sit with it. Ask, what am I feeling right now and why? Maybe you're angry, but beneath that anger is sadness, and beneath that sadness is a fear of being unlovable. Get curious. Step 2. Reframe the pain. Instead of seeing it as something that's happening to you, see it as something that's happening for you. What's this moment teaching you? Maybe that betrayal showed you the importance of boundaries. Maybe that rejection revealed a part of you that needs healing. Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. When you accept your pain as part of your journey, it loses its power to destroy you. Step 3. Act on the lesson. Pain isn't just for suffering, it's for growing. If that betrayal taught you about boundaries, set them. If that rejection showed you a fear of failure, Face it. Every time you act on what your pain teaches you, you're forging a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Let me give you a real-world example. A viewer once shared in the comments of one of my videos that they'd been ghosted by someone they trusted. It crushed them, but instead of staying stuck, they used Jung's ideas. They journaled about the pain, realized it triggered a deep fear of abandonment, and started working on loving themselves more. They set boundaries, focused on their passions, and a year later, they wrote back to say they felt freer than ever. That's alchemy, taking the raw, ugly stuff of life and turning it into gold. You can do this too. The next time life hurts you, don't let it fester. Grab it, work with it, transform it. That's how you build an inner fortress so strong that no one's words or actions can breach it. We're almost at the end of our journey, but there's one final piece of Jung's wisdom that ties it all together. To never be hurt again, you have to stop tying your worth to what others think. This is the ultimate game changer. Jung said, "The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, the world will tell you." If you let other people define you, you're giving them the power to hurt you. But when you know who you are, when your worth comes from within, their words, their actions, their judgments, they just bounce off. This is easier said than done, right? We live in a world that's constantly telling us we're not enough. Social media, comparison, expectations. It's like a never-ending assault on your self-esteem. But Jung's message is clear. You don't need the world's approval to be whole. You are enough, not because of what you do, what you achieve, or how many likes you get, but because of who you are at your core. Here's how to start detaching from external validation. First, catch yourself seeking approval. Notice when you're checking your phone for likes, when you're fishing for compliments, when you're bending over backward to make someone like you. Awareness is the first step. Second, replace external validation with internal affirmation. Start telling yourself what you wish others would say. Look in the mirror and say, "I am enough. I am worthy. I am strong." It might feel silly at first, but over time, it rewires your brain. Third, surround yourself with people who lift you up. Jung believed in the power of community. Not the kind that judges you, but the kind that supports your growth. Find people who see your worth and remind you of it, not people who tear you down. Let me leave you with this. The moment you stop needing the world to validate you, you become untouchable. No insult, no rejection, no betrayal can touch you, because your worth isn't up for grabs. You are a universe, complete and whole, and no one can take that away from you. Wow, we've covered a lot today, haven't we? From facing your shadow to embracing individuation, from turning pain into power through inner alchemy to detaching from the world's judgment, Carl Jung's wisdom is a roadmap to a life where nothing and nobody can hurt you again. But here's the thing. Knowing this stuff isn't enough. You've got to do it. Transformation doesn't happen in your head. It happens in your actions, your choices, your courage to face the messy, beautiful truth of who you are. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from this video to start today. Maybe it's journaling about your shadow. Maybe it's reflecting on who you are without others' approval. Maybe it's reframing a recent hurt as a lesson. Whatever it is, take that first step and then share it in the comments below. I want to hear your story, and so does this incredible community. Let's support each other on this journey to becoming unshakable. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button to spread the word, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. I'm here to bring you more life-changing ideas like this, and I'd love for you to join me. You are stronger than you know. You have everything you need to build a life where pain doesn't break you, it shapes you. So go out there, face your shadows, embrace your journey, and become the person you were always meant to be. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing, keep healing, and never forget, nothing and nobody can hurt you when you're whole.